right. Hello, everybody. I am so happy to share a special guest and a really great conversation today with Jessica Sorenson. She is a fulfillment and abundance coach. And we're going to get into like what that is, what that means, in addition to talking about manifesting, what it is, and especially how to do it when you're not feeling so great. I'm sure there's a lot of rhetoric and conversations online that it has to look a certain way. And there's so much out there because so many people are into manifesting right now, which is cool. But we get some conflicting info and maybe some things that may not be beneficial or apply to you. So we're going to hop into it. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, thank you for your incredible grace and showing us all how to roll with the punches and turn something that's not working out into an opportunity and a message.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So let's just start with how we met each other. It feels like it was so much longer ago, but I believe was it this year or was it last year?
I think it was September, October.
Oh, of last year. Or maybe it was spring of this year.
It was spring. Yeah. Cause it was supposed to be, the workshop was supposed to be in February and it got pushed back.
Yeah. So it was this year.
Yeah. About March, I think.
Yeah. So, okay. So go ahead and I guess tell a little bit about how we met, and then you can go into what you do,
So we were both participating in a workshop of Rebecca Massoud's. She does a Speak, Shine, Sell workshop that is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were both in there and I was magnetized to Keisha, just her presence. It was an online workshop, but so, all the little tiles of people are there. And Keisha was the brightest or most magnetic. And so we were able to contact, and I told her, like, I love your presence and I want to connect, and I think we could work out I don't know.
We tried and then didn't work out.
Here we are today.
And here we are. Yes. And I'm so happy because I get to learn more about you, and I really thought that you were fantastic then as well. And of course now. So can you share a bit about who you help and what you do as a fulfillment and abundance coach?
Yes, I primarily work with women, but men, I love working with you guys too. I help women that are overwhelmed and just don't have enough time. And I help them to create a beautiful home as well as manifest abundance and cultivate really deep fulfillment in every area of their life.
Got it. Yeah. That sounds great. I mean, having really deep fulfillment in all areas that's the key. That's key to a great quality of life, and being able to navigate things as they come, because wouldn't it be lovely if everything was up here? But you know what, when I think about it, would it really be lovely if everything was up here all the time? Because then that wouldn't give us the contrast and give us the opportunity to like work through it and then feel even better, like, wow, I could do it. If we didn't have the challenges in life, then we would have something to show us what we're made of and what we're able to get over. But having that fulfillment allows us, I feel, to look at things from a broader perspective and trust more and be more willing to go with the flow of whatever life presents us with.
Yeah. And I actually think it's possible to feel fulfilled even when you are sad or angry. I agree I actually don't think it's possible for everything to stay up on the high place that we all love, because then it would be stagnant. And whenever things get stagnant, then that's when the depression or the stagnant is not good. life force is moving, and it can't be moving without the up and the down.
Right. Right. Okay. Um, so you had shared when we were getting acquainted a little earlier, you shared a story, and I'm not sure if you still do this, if this is still working, flight attendant. Is that also what you do? No.
I am transitioning out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. That's great too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead and share. Well, if you have any words on manifesting, because for me, I'm really a big believer that we manifest regardless.
Yeah.
It's like we all have the power to create because we have this wonderful faculty of imagination.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of, are we aware of the things that we're imagining? Are we imagining the worst case outcomes, terrible shit happening? Or are we imagining what we ideally what we would really love to see, or having that vision? And it's so awesome to have imagination, to be able to do that. But I think as we grow into adults and we experience life, we move further away from understanding and playing with that, and not recognizing that worry is a form of manifesting, and so is excitement and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And so it is about that intention behind what it is that we truly desire and how we're doing that. Do you have some thoughts or words on?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think every single one of us, whether we believe in manifesting or not, are manifesting at all times. It's so when you and I are talking about manifesting, what we're talking about is conscious, desired manifesting. So, whatever you think or believe is true is going to evolve to be true for yourself. And we all have desires. We can't shut it off.
Right.
Like, it's like getting hungry. I'm starting to get hungry, so that came to mind.
Me too.
You can't shut it off. It's part of living.
Right.
Oh, I don't know, whatever you want, it shows up. But the people that don't believe in manifesting, they're very attached to being realistic. And so they're more concerned with being right. So the weight of their desire is more heavy on being right versus the desire of what they actually want. And so they are manifesting, and they're successfully getting what they want to be right, which is kind of a negative thing sometimes. So what we're talking about is conscious manifestation. And so I think a giant key to that is acceptance of where you're at in this right now moment. So just whoever's listening, just take a breath and just feel your body. And very often when I check into myself, I'll feel multiple things. Like when I breathed, I felt a sense of peace. I felt a sense of like buzzing chaoticness in my cells and optimism in my heart. So, chaoticness, optimism, and peace, so those are kind of conflicting things, but I think it's okay that it exists. And the key around it is the allowing or acceptance. And so
I think that's huge, with the allowing and acceptance of all of it. I'm currently in a Kundalini teacher training.
yeah.
And so Kundalini yoga teacher training. And so one of the greatest gifts from that, as I'm moving through, is the acceptance and working, learning even more and more. We've got years and years and even generations of like karmic things in us that we're working through in this life, but also, things from childhood. So a lot of programming and layers of subconscious to release and to heal. And so when we talk about acceptance, that things don't need to look a certain way because society or your family or, people you see tells you to, or school tells you to. If it's us, it's each of us has our unique imprint and translation of experiences, through our lives, and being in the place where you are accepting where you are and all of the multitudes of things, the ups and downs, you're organized in one area, you're a mess in the other, and whatever. You still lose your temper. You're okay. It's okay. While knowing that you're still working towards something better, to that next phase. Because when we're like, oh my God, if only I could just lose this last 12 pounds, then I can feel good showing up online or dating or, going for that opportunity. When it's like, yes, you still want to release the weight. We honor that, but and you can still, don't let that keep you from still going with the flow of what you want, because it's only by accepting where we are that we can actually, like, it can speed up or allow us to actually move toward the thing that we desire.
Yeah. And so what we were talking about before we started recording, which inspired this direction of the conversation, was manifesting from a bad mood. And I realized that I actually manifest a ton from a bad mood.
Wow. Tell us more.
So when I'm in an awful mood, when it's really bad, like if I'm crying or I'm so angry that like I might break something, or, those really intense emotions that most of us don't like to feel, there's some kind of letting go. I get sucked into the downward spiral of being sad that I am so intensely present. And then I'm like, okay, I hate life right now, whatever. What can I do right now that will make me feel better? And so I'm going to share a story from when I was 20, like a long time ago. I was sad, and I think it was a Thursday or Friday night in college. That's a big deal. I had no plans. I had no friends to hang out with. And I was living in San Diego, which is a party city, party school. And I didn't have anything. So I was sad. So I was like, well, whatever. So I decided to go to the beach and study at the beach, because being outside of my house would make me feel a little bit better than
being inside and
being at home and just like not getting anything done and being upset. So literally, I put on my beach clothes, and then I felt a little bit better, because like, okay, I love the beach. So there was a little bit of acceptance around whatever. It's okay that I'm alone right now. And so I like had just laid my towel down, and then this guy came up to me and was like, hey, and we're friends now, so I'll tell he'll love the story. But he's like, hey, I just saw you walking and I had to come say hi to you, but I have to leave. Are you gonna stay here for like an hour or two, and I'll come back?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll come back and talk to you. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I'll be here. And so I was still kind of in my sad mood, so not really attached to what he was saying. And then I was studying and I totally forgot. And then he came back, and I was like, oh my God.
He's back.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So we ended up dating for a little while through the summer, and that was amazing.
Oh.
And I think that was such a fantastic manifestation that came out of me being sad. And so the point of that story is the acceptance of like, okay, just this, it is what it is.
Mm.
From right now, what can I do that will make me feel a tiny bit better? Because your desires don't go away. They're there. They're working. But when you have that acceptance of where you are, that creates an opening for the desires to come in.
Hmm. I love that. Thank you for sharing that story. So you met, and quick question, were you desiring a partner at that time, a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You were.
That was a giant part of why I was sad.
Oh, look at that. I love that story.
Yeah. And that was through my 20s. That was the way that I was hit on that was my favorite.
Mhm. That was your favorite. I love it. Yes. Something similar with me. I was going through a rough patch and just was like, okay, something's got to give here. It felt like boom, 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 one thing after the other. This is back in 2008, 9. And I picked up a journal. I had one of those cute, just basic marble journals. And being a person who loves to write, but never been a journaler, because I would always think of journaling as a day in the life of, today I had a smoothie and it was great. And then I went to such and such. That just never appealed to me. I'm like, I don't want to journal about that. But in this instance, I'm like, I got to write things the way I want it to be. I got to write it the way I want it to be, because I'm really suffering right now. And this was the outlet that I chose, So I just started writing. Today's going to be lovely. I look forward to, my daughter going on playing at the pool, and I'm going to have some really yummy food and I'm going to feel really good. And I just started doing that. And after doing that for about a week, some things start happening.
Yeah.
And maybe it was even within the week, but little things started like formulating to reflect what I had been writing. And I'm like, wait a minute, I wrote about this. Wow. Right. And that's another form of like activating the manifestation, because I accepted this is where I was, but I knew I wanted to feel better in some way. So the where I had my power was in my mind and in that pen and paper. And I used that to help. And what do you know? It did, because there was a release there. It felt good to at least imagine and pretend at least to write out what I wanted instead of what I didn't want, because I was seeing too much of it, what I didn't want in real life at the time. So I just wrote out what I wanted, and then it started to create the things that, and I referred to that as my magic book. But I love your story about just being real. Like you did in your moment, the power that you had, although you were feeling sad and lonely and like, it's a Thursday or Friday night, I'm 20 and I'm cute and I ain't got nothing to do, and I have nobody, and whatever that was, let me study. Oh, one thing I know is the beach will make me feel a bit better. So let me just get myself outside and go. And then what? There was that release. That was the release of resistance. I think what we're both talking about is that release of resistance, right, where we're just like surrendering. It is what it is in this moment, and I'm just going to do what I can do in the moment.
Yes. And the journaling practice that you just shared, I love doing that too. So I will take one page and I'll write out like, and I'll usually work myself up and like, yeah, this is so cool. Exactly, right? Like you did. Because when you're writing, there's some kind of shift that happens where you start to believe it.
Right.
And yeah, so today was amazing. I walked outside and then I found $20 on the floor. And then, that actually did happen. That was a good story too.
See? And then we get to see like, wow, this stuff really does work if we believe. And honestly, people, it's said that the universe and God is always working to support us. And it's even those things that are like, painful, if we can look at, and that takes practice, right? You're right, to look at things, to see what it is. Where is this an opportunity for me to grow? Where is this an opportunity for me to heal? Because it's just a matter of like being a bit discerning and open to it. But manifesting happens all the time. If y'all take anything away from this, we are all creating our realities through our thoughts and our actions and our feelings. Where we have the power, and of course there's things going on around us, we can't control other people, we can't, it's about our alignment with what we want and taking the steps to make those small shifts or changes or choices that we have in our power to do, because it's really about us in alignment with our heart and our soul. And the more that we can trust that and tap into that, the more it opens up like the ability for us, because of our shift in perspective, it allows us to see things differently and welcome in, like Jessica had said, like that, those opportunities for fulfillment, or, it just works that way. It's just really, really cool. So thank you, Jessica. And is there a way that we can keep in touch with you or follow you, find you?
Yeah, I have. So my Facebook page is Fulfilled and Abundant, and Instagram is Fulfilled and Abundant, but each word is separated by a period.
Okay.
My website, fulfilledandabundant.com.
Hot damn. So easy. Fulfilled and abundant, right? It's all that. And I will share that also in the comments when I share this in the group. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This was fun.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.